But a wave game, boy. That wave game coming in, boy. I don't know about the wave game, boy.
Ha ha! Got it. It's back
It
up.
worked.
You ready? Yep, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Here we go in five, four, three, two, and one. What is up, everybody? Thank you for joining us here on the Welcome Home Podcast. I'm your host, Famously Garnet, and I'm joined by my co-host Q.
What it do, y'all? What it do?
Q, it is 17 days away from Gamecock kickoff. If you are listening to the replay of the Welcome Home Podcast on Apple and Spotify, but if you're checking in, listening live right now across Facebook, YouTube, X, all those great places to check the show, watch it live. It is 18 days, Q, and it is 18 days of number 18, that war number 18 that is no longer with us, Steve Taney Hill. So I do want to give him his moment there as he donned the number 18 and did a lot of incredible things at South Carolina. This is the first
For
football
sure.
season that we're not going to have him. So you would imagine that South Carolina will do something special for them. Maybe the opening game. I mean, some point this year they're going to do something. They have to. So
Yeah, I can see
um,
that for sure.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. And he did a lot for the program, the city. I mean, people tend to forget his impact was left way beyond the field and way past his Carolina playing days. So, um,
Mm-hmm.
so it's gonna be different this year without Steve Taney Hill in the stands or running the show in 5 points. It's just gonna be different. So, anyways, like I said, 18 days until Gamecock kickoff. Q, the pads, they're officially popping. Injuries are already happening. Reports are already coming out. We've got a lot of stuff to talk about. We got a lot of stuff. And Q, let's go ahead and we're going to start this thing off. Obviously, where people are hurting the most. And I'm not going to lie, Q. When this news officially broke about the loss of Jaden Sellers, and I'll talk about Jaden Gibson here in a second, it hurt for a couple different reasons. Obviously, number one, you look at it, Jaden Sellers was really developing into something special, right? Last season, we saw some great strides from him.
Yeah.
But really, what was sitting on edge for me is that this is potentially the last year that Lenoris can play with his brother when it comes to playing the game of
Yeah.
football. Potentially,
That's a fact. That's a
I'm not
fact.
saying. I'm not saying. Obviously, they could. If Lenoris comes back for another season, I'm not saying that can't happen. But I'm also not saying that these two may not. These two may meet in the league one day. Honestly, I mean, I think both of them are that good. They had that potential to get there. Both of them. So
For sure.
that part hurt you. That part
Agreed.
hurts. Um, what were your thoughts, initial reaction when that news came down about Jaden Sellers officially out for the season?
First, when I first heard about the news, it wasn't on a instance of Jaden could be out for the season. I heard he had got banged up
Mm,
in practice, but it seems like this happened during the scrimmage.
correct.
So I'm assuming that's when that took place was during the scrimmage. So that's unfortunate. I Jaden is Lenore's safety blanket. No matter how anyone wants to put that, he is viewed as a safety blanket for Lenore Sellers, and so therefore you need your safety blanket out there while you're playing the game. That's just being honest.
Hmm.
I I hate it. I hate how that went down. Let me be the first to say this, bro. I hate how it went down. To be honest with you, I'm not happy about it. It sucks. It's terrible. But
Hmm.
let me be very clear about what's going on. The wide receiver is one of our deepest uh, places on the team. That there's no ifs, ands, or buts about the situation. Wide receiver is deep, bro. It's very, very, very deep. And no matter how we put that, no matter how things go, that group is going to be a special group. No ifs, ands, or buts about the situation. If I'm being very transparent. So I hate it. I think Jaden was a humongous loss. We don't know what we would have got with Gibson. I'm gonna be very straightforward. We don't know. Gibson has been hurt a lot. He did a lot of work to get to where he was. Let me be the first to say Jaden Gibson put in some serious work to get to where he was.
Yeah.
Serious work, bro.
Yeah.
And I hate in my hearts of hearts, I hate how it went down, bro. I completely hate how that went down. I think he needed to see the field. He needed to get back out there competitively to get his juices flowing and see what he could do. He was not afforded that opportunity this year. Once again, he still has years left though. So let's see what happens, in the future. Jaden, of course, this would be his true sophomore year. That's kind of where we're at with that. But I'm going to be honest that room is dangerously deep.
Yeah.
So the guys that you're looking to step up now, FG, if we're being very transparent, very honest about what's going on, Mazeo Bennett has never had a bigger opportunity in his life than what he's about to have this year. You and I both know that. There's
Correct.
never been another opportunity as big as what you're getting this year for Mazeo Bennett.
Correct.
Nitro is going to have every single opportunity to completely show why he was a pickup for Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
Completely. That's another one. But this is the biggest one. Now you guys are forced to know who DJ Black is. Now you are forced to understand who DJ Black is. Because believe it or not, that cat's been cooking. There's a reason they wanted him in the first place. So I just named off to you 3 people I know for a fact is going to play. That's not including Donovan Murphy. That's not including Nick Harbor. That's not including Malik Clark, who actually has started coming around a little more. But a name that we haven't talked about, FG, Lex Cyrus.
Yeah.
Lex Cyrus.
Yeah.
Who, after the scrimmage that next day when they had practice, caught a touchdown pass from Lenore's. There's a lot of talent in that room. And you know who else I ain't said nothing about? Sequel Patterson, who I'm going to go ahead and let y'all know this now. The way he's able to shift and move in small spaces needs to be studied. That needs to be studied. That should be studied by someone in a much bigger scale than I, because Sequel reclassifying and teams not being able to get him, that was a gift to Shane and them. That was a congratulations gift, because Sequel Patterson is really that. He is an extremely talented. He is a little bit bigger than Jaden, but he plays a lot like how Jaden plays, and he has that dog mentality. I am looking forward to seeing how this group, with as much time as they've spent with Lenore's, which FG, if I remember correctly, I spoke a lot about how Lenore's took this year and was very serious about getting timing with his receivers. I think I talked a lot about that and how we're seeing a difference from last year to this year when it comes to his time with his receivers, his time with the OC and all that. And we're starting to see that, because the way the offense went at the defense last night, or a couple nights ago,
yeah,
it's a dangerous group.
It's definitely. I'll say this. I mean, once again, what happened to Jaden was devastating. But at the same time, I mean, it's one of those positions, like, if something's going to happen, it happened in the wide receiver room, and that's just not the worst thing in the world. I mean, I hate it for Jaden. I hate it for Jaden Gibson. I hate it for both of them. It's just South Carolina is absolutely stacked in that wide receiver room. And we talk about Sequel Patterson, and obviously that's somebody that Shane named when we had our interview with him on the podcast, which you guys can check the replay out there. It's out there, out there that you can listen to. But the thing that he kept talking about is just how explosive this kid is, and if he didn't come in, like, if, let's say, for example, if he came in right in January, he was an early enrollee, I would say I could really pencil him in potentially in there as a potential starter, because I think he's just that good. Now, obviously, he's behind the ball a little bit. He's still learning the offense, which he's going to be doing that. That's part of it, coming in late. And that kind of follows in with Darius Gray. But these two guys, first of all, they were top two sport athletes in the country. In the country, I'm not talking about in the state of South Carolina, in the state of Virginia. I'm talking about in the country. Darius Gray and Sequel Patterson were top two sport athletes in the country. That means something. That absolutely means something.
Bingo. Yeah.
That's
a fact.
I could tell you the last time that's happened at South Carolina or anywhere. Honestly, getting two top, two sport athletes in the country. I'm not talking about a state. I'm talking about in the whole country. So,
speaking of top players, a guy that was a top player last year that I was told verbatim, we're talking verbatim, that it is insane how good he's gotten over the offseason. And that's Shed Surratt.
Yeah.
When I tell y'all how he's anchoring that right tackle room, all I'm going to say is this. When Peak is back out there and Shed's on that right side with Poku, if you see a lot of pulls to the right, if you see a lot of things going to the right, just know that's because Shed has shown so much versatility, so much power. Because right now he's manning the left side. Side. He's over on the left side right now until Peak it actually gets back because you know Shed can move over to the right. Shed's very good at right tackle.
Very versatile.
And very versatile player. But man, a lot of people do not talk about how good his game has elevated this offseason, bro. I have been told verbatim that he has had an incredible summer, and has come in and just balled out, man. We're talking about a guy that has balled completely out, bro, in the offseason at offensive line. And you have Darius Gray who can plug in and you can play. But you know what? Another guy I'd had a good scrimmage, Hank Purvis. I'm going to tell y'all right now, Hank had a really good scrimmage, bro. Like everybody wants to count Hank out, which I get it. Everybody, the shiny new toy, that's Darius. And Darius is going to have his shot. Don't get me wrong. Let me tell y'all right now, Darius is going to play this year. He's going to play a lot of ball this year.
Yeah.
But that team, those guys from the spring that you've had, hey man, those guys are good. Hank, there's a reason Hank was brought in, bro. There's a reason why Poku was brought in. Y'all haven't heard a lot about Poku because he's a quiet guy. That's a quiet guy. But his mentality his leadership has really resonated in that room. He came in talking business from day one. And he has continued to do that. And I'm letting you guys know now, the way this is about to go, the way things are about to shape up, you need cohesiveness in that offensive line room. As Shane has told y'all, we've got 6 to 7 guys that are ready to go.
And I think, to hit on that, I think we're already seeing this because, Shane obviously talked about limited pre-snap penalties, and he hit on it again furthermore today. Out of 90 snaps, there's only a total of 7 pre-snaps, 7 pre-snap penalties this year. So, or this time around. So, look, I mean, 7, sure, but dude, 7 compared to 2014, 20 something last year. I mean, there's already a difference there. Communication, you're bringing these established players, seasoned vets. I mean, that's what this is about. And we've seen teams already do this and be successful doing that, bringing in guys for almost a 1-year rental, if you will. But it's worked.
I agree. And that's what this is about. Seth Smith, y'all haven't heard a lot about, but Seth's been back there balling. Another guy, Marquis Anderson, has been healthy and has been contributing. I think people are forgetting that Marquis is still on this team, bro. That's another guy that is helping and contributing. And if he keeps going down the road, you're talking about he's now the 8th, 9th guy that they're talking about that's going to play some ball this year. There's a reason 27 people are on that offensive line on this team. There's a reason we're carrying that many people. We're never going to get caught lacking again. Let me tell you right now, we're never going to get caught lacking again. We're never going to get caught lacking again.
No, and I think this offensive line is just completely different, man. There's a different mentality. There's a whole lot of different coaching styles going on right now, and I think that's just a statement of who we brought in there. I mean, the guys are doing a fantastic job, and I hear they're super intense. I mean, they're going to call you how it is. They're going to tell you how it is, and I guarantee this: you won't see you won't see somebody blocking down the field facing the wrong way. Let's put it that way.
That won't happen this year. No sir.
No, those days are over.
They're gone, bro. Long gone. Long gone.
Looking at you, Stanley. Looking at you, my friend.
Long gone.
Oh my goodness.
Long gone.
Thankfully, yeah, those days are long gone. But these things are happening. These guys are meshing. They're coming together pretty quick, and they needed to. Obviously, you only have a certain amount of time, certain amount of practices to get in, but it's been all hands on deck since most of these guys have arrived. I mean, obviously, they're not able to practice prior to everything that goes on, but the continuity gets driven pretty quick, and that's what has happened at South Carolina. I mean, even Coach said that on the when he interviewed with us. I mean, he talked about how these guys have meshed since day one, since getting on campus. And another thing, too, I want to talk about in Q, this takes us back to our interview with Lenore Sellers a couple years ago. And Lenore said that when we talked to him about becoming a more vocal leader, like this is a task that you have to take on to be the starting quarterback at South Carolina, right? Mm-hmm. And he said it in a way, it's like, yeah, it's something that I have to adjust to, and I got to find it in myself. Well, Q, he's doing it. And Shane even said it today in his presser that he is more vocal in these scrimmages and the practices so far. And I've heard the same.
Ever.
Yeah.
Than ever. The role he's taking on, he understands this is the year we have to take advantage of what we have in front of us. He understands that, and it trickles to every room. You have, because of how he's led, you have a Christian Clark who's taking that running back room and is like, hey, we're not going to be the reason why we're lacking this year.
Mm-hmm.
Stan ain't going to be the only one talking. I got something to say. Yep. You see in that wide receiver room, Harbor, Mazio, DJ Black has been an integral voice in that room. I came here to win. This is what I'm here to do. This is what I continue to believe in. Integral voice. Then you take it to the offensive line room with Peak, with Poku, with Purvis, with Miller. Our center is so integral in how this offense is running and why we're not having as many procedural issues as we've had before, because he is literally, between him and Nolan Hay, have been literally making sure things are going well. And someone else that's been pretty vocal as well, Cutter Woods.
Yeah.
Cutter Woods has been pretty vocal. And you have that going on. In the tight end room, Brady Hunt is like, hey, we not going to – those issues we had with blocking last year, we can't have them this year. Him, Mike Tyler, all of them are understanding that offense is to churn. Everybody is on the same page. And with how Kendall Browse wants things to go, because what he's told you, which it was breath of fresh air. I only script a couple plays. And then after that, I see what the defense is giving me, and that's what I'm going in, and that's what I'm doing. I want the ball snapped between 8 and 11 seconds. I was telling people yesterday, you're going to see a lot more than 11 seconds with a Georgia. You're trying to wear on them. You're trying to lean on them. Mm-hmm. You're going to see a lot more of that with maybe the Alabamas. You're going to see a lot more of that with the Tennessees, because Tennessee wants to go fast all the time. That's what they want to do. Boom, boom, boom. And so to keep their offense off the field, you're probably going to see a lot more of those huddles with them. But the 8 seconds? Oh, the 8 seconds is to keep a Brent Venables, because you're not worried about his offense as much as you are his defense.
Yeah.
You're trying to get them moving. Because once they get tired, then what? So your ultimate goal in the whole situation is you're trying to make sure you're getting as many points as you can on everybody that you can get. This is not the year to, in my opinion, the way they're acting. This is not the year you take your foot off of anyone's neck. You can't do that. You can't do that. We shouldn't have done that against Texas A&M. We shouldn't have done it against Alabama. We should have been doing way better against Alabama. We shouldn't have done it against Missouri. We was putting belt to Missouri until we just stopped. There was just so many games, so many different things. So now you have an OC where he understands, hey, I got to let him do what he's got to do. And you're seeing results of that. You're seeing Kendall Browse uses every aspect of his team. But the key marriage was Kendall Browse and Randy Clements. I'm trying to tell folks the marriage that you needed was Kendall Browse and Randy Clements, because now you have an O-line coach who understands the value of what the offense is going to do, but not just understanding it, being a part of it before, not just with Kendall, but you're talking about with the father, the guy who started the whole thing. So that's why I say what I say on that.
No, and that's fair. I mean, if we're talking about just this offense in general, and Shane alluded today about like, hey, obviously what we're gonna do is not just to be up tempo all the time. We are gonna mix it up some when it's properly, like you just talked about, right? It's depending on the opponents and gotta really just see what the guys are shooting at you. But I do want to bring up a name that obviously we talk about Coach Clem, but Jason Smith. Jason Smith has been phenomenal, and Q, that is somebody. Even though in our connections, I mean, they're across the team, right? But it's like some of the guys that we talk to, we've had conversations with, don't even play on that offensive line, and they talk about the impact that Jason Smith is having on their game, going against that offensive line that they're having to go up against. And it's just
Jason Smith is a Sam Serby. He's a Sam Serby, but of on field. Like Sam is that kind of impact on the recruiting trail.
Right.
But Jason is that on that field, bro. Mm-hmm. The energy he brings, the yin and yang he is with Randy. I mean, to be honest with you, some of the things I've heard, if this offensive line is as good as they're talking that they're going to be this year and able to be, hey, you talking about a guy that's going to get a raise beyond any raise, because you don't lose that kind of stuff right there. You don't let that walk away from you. You got to keep that going, and that's where we're at, because I've never seen our offensive line so prepared. FG, I've never seen an offensive line so prepared as they are this year. We haven't had that kind of preparedness even since Shane's been here.
Yeah.
This is the most prepared our offensive line has been since Shane Beamer has walked in the door. I'm so excited, because we're not going to walk into a game and wonder, when the offense goes out there, I mean, what procedural offsides we're going to get, procedural penalty we're going to get, what's going wrong on that drive. You're going to see it flow the way it needs to flow, because Shane brought this up today, the communication piece of it.
Yes.
And he brought up South Carolina State game. Guys were not prepared mentally. Folks, like look at me here. I'm here. Mentally, and I said this, you saw the leak at that game. You saw the leak. If we didn't, this is the crazy part, if we didn't play special teams, that game is like a one-score game at the end of the game.
Yeah.
And that's scary, because you can't do that with an opponent like that. First off, shout out to South Carolina State. Their head coach, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys know this now. Their head coach is going to be a P4 coach at some point. He's going to be a P4 coach at some point. He has won every single place he's been at, and he's done it without money. So I can only imagine, if he gets some bread, what he's going to be able to do with the team, because he's a straight developer. That's all I'm saying. He's a straight developer. Don't let it fool y'all that people aren't getting drafted out of HBCUs. Me and FG have talked about that. People just want to keep overlooking those kids, but every time those kids start getting on those practice squads and get out there for OTAs and stuff, next thing you know, about 8, 9 of them. Next thing you know, what are they, FG? Next thing they sign. They're on the 53 man. They're on the 53-man roster. So he knows how to develop players. But I'm letting you guys know now that mentality's gone. Last year you didn't have the right mentality going into it. You saw it once again. You saw it against Vandy. You saw it against Missouri on the road. You saw it against Bama. We had Bama put away and we just couldn't finish because of the mentality, man. Texas A&M, you don't go up that much. You needed one stop and you win that game. So therefore, my point is you don't have that mentality. And it goes back to what I said before, FG. And I'm going to say it again. Shane Beamer has been a coach for 5 years. He's only been a head coach 5 years.
That's it.
Y'all can't keep counting 2023 as a year where he had to learn. 23 was a injury-riddled offensive line and defensive line bad year. You're going to lose games like that. When you have the injuries they had in 23, you're going to lose games like that. You have to – now 25 was the year he actually had no excuse. He just got his behind whooped. And when you lose like that, you can tell it shifted how he thought because we had to get up out of that pro-style offense. You have to have a college-ready offense, and that's exactly what Kendall Browse brings to you. Right. And I told y'all that. Once again, you can fact-check me. You can go back when we first talked about the OC looks. Who was the third person I brought up, FG? Please keep your eyes open for who? Kendall Browse. And look at what happened. I wasn't telling y'all that for my health. I'm telling y'all that because I'm serious. Kendall Browse was always one of the people that we thought was going to end up being here. And the thing was, he made wholesale changes, which was genius. Wholesale. You get rid of the running back coach who couldn't get you anything. You had to get rid of him. Man. And then you bring in a guy who coached Bijan Robinson? You go and get an offensive line coach, which, like I brought up, bro, y'all got to go look at the stats, bro. If you go look at Randy Clements' offensive lines, they have every year that he has coached them, they've ran for over 230 yards every single year, bro.
In the Power Four.
In the Power Four, man. You're talking Baylor. You're talking when he had a 5'11" guard and was still able to run the ball the way he was running the ball, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like he's just been under Kendall. He's been under different OCs and still the same results has happened time and time again. And that's what I want people to understand. Everyone has their fear of what's going on. But I'm going to let you know now, I have never been so much more confident in offensive line than I have been this year. And is it going to be perfect? Absolutely not. I'm not saying it's going to be perfect. Nothing's going to be perfect. But what I am saying is give Lenore Seller time to throw, and we're going to find out if he really can throw, which I know he can. But we're going to find out what's going to happen.
And I think that's why these talking heads, we'll get into the running backs here in a second, but I think that's why a lot of these talking heads, like, for example, I know a lot of people don't like him. I don't really have an opinion against him, but Brandon Walker has been shrewd this whole offseason about South Carolina. He's never switched one time. He said South Carolina's a team to watch. He said Lenore Sellers could potentially be the number 1 draft pick this year coming out of the draft because he believes that these hires that Shane made this offseason are going to contribute to this solid offensive line that we're going to be seeing. It blows my mind to me where these talking heads are actually realizing, all right, yeah, South Carolina may be onto something right now. And this isn't fan talk by any means. It's not, because they have nothing to lose, these guys. They trashed South Carolina as much as they could last offseason. And were they right? Well, unfortunately, yeah, they were right. And South Carolina did degrade the portal last year. And Shane admitted to that. There's spots that he missed. Were there things that we thought could have been better? Sure. It is what it is. But there's a method to the madness, Q. There's a method to the madness.
I agree. And just like when everyone was excited to just hear Sam Drayton, hey, man, we're not doing that soft stuff.
Yeah.
That alone is a mentality. That's what I'm trying to get people to understand. This is a mentality that has been going on since these guys have walked in the building.
Yep.
That's what it is. And so now you're going to get to see the fruits of the labor. But I'm going to let y'all understand something too. Even before we get into running backs. Before we get into running backs, I want to get to defensive line.
Fair.
What the edge room is about to do this year to complement what the D tackle room is about to do. When you're hearing Julian Walker is out there cooking and in the backfield a lot, when these guys are doing things like that, when Caleb Herring is in the backfield all the time, and it's not because the offensive line is doing nothing wrong. What it is you have those kind of guys on defense that are ready to ball like that. Mm-hmm. I'm going to let you know now. Come Mississippi State, I want to see what Kamarion Taylor is going to be able to do when he doesn't have an offensive line to stop the defensive line that's coming at him.
I mean, I'm interested to see how that plays out against Minnesota, because Minnesota is not a team to slouch at, and that offensive line for Minnesota, or excuse me, defensive line for Minnesota, I got some guys on there, man. They got some decent ones over there.
Hey, imagine having to go to Minnesota in the next game. You got to play Dylan Stewart.
Yeah. D-Walk asked real quick before we get to running backs, who's going to end up as kick return? Harbor back there again as our true wide receiver 1. And I know a lot of people.
Now, I think it's a for now thing until I think Jaquel Holman may grab that. I think he may, if all goes right and we start, getting special teams and all that together. I think Holman can grab that real quick and start making some noise there. Vakari Swain you'll probably still see on punt return, but we'll have some backups. You have Donovan Murphy that's been working back there. Sequel Patterson has been back there. I mean, there's guys that's been working in and out, shifting in and out, trying to figure out who can do what. Because you're right, you don't want your wide receiver 1 necessarily taking those licks that he doesn't have to take. However, Nick Harbor is special, and if he's able to get the lane, I mean, it's going to get ugly real quick. But I do think Jaquel Holman would be the answer in my personal opinion, and that's someone they are looking at. And if he's able to step up and do that, that's who you're looking at that could do that. And he has explosiveness to take that bad boy to the house. That is something that is very possible. So please do not take lightly of what some of those guys that they're able to do. So yeah, that would be my answer to that.
Yeah, and I mean, I understand people's kind of concern, like, hey, why do we have our wide receiver 1 back there on kick return? And it's a fair concern. I understand, especially.
I'm not mad at it.
Yeah, I definitely understand. Now,
I'm not mad at it.
Taking it to the running backs room, the Stan Drayton greatness area right there. Christian Clark, Q. I think a lot of people are going to see this season, and they're going to be asking, "What the heck? How the heck did Texas let this kid get away? How did
we
Texas
are introducing
let this kid
now?
Get away?
Look, as y'all see, we're introducing this now. This is the Keys bobblehead. This will be with you guys for the season. There will be times where you will see the bobblehead pop up. Keys bobblehead, folks. Shout out to my boy DJ. Just got married, and this was one of the groomsmen gifts. Shout out to my boy, him and his wife, Raya. I love you guys. That's my brother right there. But Christian Clark, are we buying stock? Yes, sir. Y'all see that? We're buying stock. Christian Clark and Matt Fuller, 1-2 punch. I could see being one of the top. Well, we have 16 teams in the SEC. I could see them being the top 8 running back duo before it's all said and done. All right, y'all have heard it here first. Let me repeat it. So I know some people are struggling to hear sometimes. Let me repeat this for you. Matthew Fuller and Christian Clark being a top 2 running back duo, or a top 8 running back duo before the season's over with in the SEC is going to happen. It's going to happen. Christian Clark is that guy. Texas didn't want to lose him. That bowl game was not a fluke. He is one of our strongest guys, along with Jawan Howell, who I think people understand that he's fighting for that 3rd spot, bro.
He is.
Right now, we have 4 backs. Four backs that could get out there and let's get the job done. You haven't seen that in Shane Beamers' 4 backs. You haven't seen it in Shane Beamers' I'm gonna go ahead and let you know that now. You heard it here first. You've never had 4 running backs in Shane Beamer's ready to go. We have it this year. And you have a running back coach that can actually coach them and make things happen in Stan Drayton.
Well,
who by the way, too, FG, I just want people to remember.
Yeah.
He did beat Clemson as a head coach.
He did do that. Yeah, Deion and Stan did beat him. Yeah, that's true. That is true. He does have a resume of beating Clemson. That's a fact. Better for worse, bowl game or not, it is what it is. And let that sit where let that sit where it is. And think about Christian Clark too, man. Shane talked about it today about his opportunities of where he's been able to block down the field and obviously in pass protection. And that's also a breath of fresh air, hearing that we've got running backs that can actually be a part of pass protection. Because I've just been seeing them get run over for the last 4 years or so, a la Blackwell and Montario Hardesty. Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Not great. Not great.
I agree. I mean, that, like I said, everybody has had a very good thing. I mean, we're still developing depth, even in the cornerback room, where you're looking at Leach and Koski looking at the third corner, who's the third and fourth guy. Those are your guys right now taking it tit for tat. You have Lewis Solomon, who's starting to come along now that he's healthy. And don't ever forget my boy Tristan Lewis. Don't forget him. I'm trying to tell y'all, don't forget him. You can sleep if you want to, but I'm giving you the opportunity to buy stock. And the safety room, Boosie talked about it today. That room is grinding. You have Currents back there. You have Daniels back there, who's getting more consistent as the days go on. Peyton Williams, you have Gerald Kilgore that can help some in the safety room. But Boosie, listen, man, let me tell y'all something about David Boosie. It's come together. That was what needed to happen for Boosie, and it's come together. So I'm gonna go ahead and let you know now, with it coming together as one with Boosie, I am so excited, FG, to see him play and to see his impact on the game. I think Kent State and Townsend are two very good situations to get started on, but I think you're gonna hear Boosie's name a lot, and I'm intrigued to see how it's gonna play out and how it's gonna happen. This defense on all three levels, they have talent out the wazoo. Guys just need experience. There's certain guys that need experience, but my God, the talent is 100% there. Too deep wise, it's 100% there.
It is.
Same thing with linebacker. You got 3 guys right now. You need your 4th and your 5th guy. Darden. You need AJ. You need those. Those guys have stepped up, and I told y'all what was going to happen with Darden. I've explained to y'all what's going to happen with Darden, and it's still one of those things that you're going to see. I'm just glad, FG, we're not going to have the issue of what we talked about before. Guys have to jump in there when they're not ready. You don't see that in any position, honestly, on the team at the current moment. No one has to step in and just, man, I hope they're ready to go. I think we're in a good spot there.
I think the only thing that hasn't been figured out yet is actually who's going to be the kicker on this team. But that's not saying it's a bad thing. There's multiple guys right now vying for the spot, and apparently they've all been neck and neck with each other right now. So that hasn't quite figured the end of that one yet. But they're working on it. So
bingo.
We'll see what that looks like. I mean, ultimately, Hugh, I mean, we just gotta continue to hope for health with his team. Obviously,
just get out of here healthy.
That's it. No new updates on Peak and Stewart. We obviously know where that's at. Yep. So
I'll give you. You know what? If y'all want more details on it, I'll give you more details on it. That's fine. Peak and Stewart are literally progressing at a good rate where there's a chance Peak possibly could play in week 1 or week 2. Dylan right now is looking straight more week 3.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, they're good because we've built depth. Now you've got to see where your depth is. You're not having to worry about other things. You can see where your depth is, and I think that's huge for us. If I'm being honest, if I'm being straightforward and honest about the situation and transparent.
Mm-hmm. I do agree, and so we'll see what the rest of the week looks like as far as
Mm-hmm.
scrimmages, practice, and everything. Q, a couple things before we wrap it up. I do want to give the men's soccer team a shout out real quick as they start their season against North Florida on Thursday night. So that's going to be an interesting one. South Carolina, for the ones who hadn't kept up, one exhibition game got rained out. That was against Wofford. They won the 4-0 match against Mercer. And then the team that actually almost won the national title last year in overtime, NC State came in and they beat South Carolina 3-1. But I'm going to tell you, there are multiple rotations in that game. Tony did not have a couple of his guys playing that night for other reasons. And so I'm interested to see what this squad looks like this time around because there's a lot of great talent on this team this year, man, and I think they're going to be really aggressive. So that's something to watch out for. Want to give a shout out to my guys over there at 5 Point Social. If y'all haven't seen that yet, it's a new bar down at 5 Points that is officially open where New Brooklyn Tavern used to be, the giant marquee that has done so much for recruiting. As we all remember, the G.G. Jackson recruiting, Dylan Stewart, when they'd have their name in the marquee, you can't miss it, right? So shout out to Ryan, to Jason Strickland, our guy Strick that used to play football at Carolina, and then CB90, Jeff over there, Cox by 90, for putting this thing together and make it a reality. Because I'm going to tell you, man, this is one of the coolest atmospheres I've seen, and I'm not trying to sound funny or anything like that. And that I'm like, sure, yeah, I'm in sales for a living, but I'm just telling you right now, guys, there's 3 atmospheres to this place. You go in, you got the first bar, you go in the back, you got the second bar, then you go up top, you got another bar. Man, it's just there's so many cool things about this place that they've got set up, and it's all just a different atmosphere. So really like what they got going on with that. And it's not only going to be just a college outing, guys. They're going to have it where it's going to be 23 and over to go into a certain part of the bar. So it's going to be young adults and, that kind of thing. So a great place to watch the games at and a good place to socialize. I mean, it's called 5 Point Social for a reason. So like I said, I want to give a shout out to them. They had a great grand opening. Mary English did a really good job up there on stage. Girl can sing. So, I mean, just a great job with them. And then finally, Q, I am going to Tampa, Florida to go and support our guy, Steven Garcia, with his fundraiser, his giant event that night. So
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be an interesting night. See Steven, meet all them out there. And, of course, the old ball coach is going to be out there, so we're going to have some conversations with him and just be out there to support Steven, man. He told us what he was going to do, and he's done every bit of that, man.
Yeah.
He's done every bit of that with this thing. So
Proud of that, man. Proud of him, man.
yeah,
Yeah, it's good stuff, man. And like I said, y'all keep looking forward to it. We're still looking at October 24th game for the tailgate, so y'all keep that in mind. We'd love to see y'all come on out for it. I'm looking forward to that. We're still working behind the scenes to get a couple more things accomplished as a pod, and we're still moving up, guys. We're continue to support us, subscribe, download, rate us, review us. Keep coming, boys. We're boys and girls. We're doing what we can. We're trying to keep grinding from the mud up. Keep in mind, we started from the mud, and now we're on the up. So keep watching, keep looking for us to do things. So I'm looking forward to seeing what the season holds for us.
yeah. And one thing Q did want to talk about before we wrap it up, man. How about Progressive? Is the insurance has announced a partnership with 13 college programs, and one of them is the Georgia Bulldogs.
They
I
really want
mean,
that problem. That's one I would have been like, nah, fam, nah.
can you imagine the premiums that they're going to be
Yeah,
offering out
yeah, it's gonna
there?
be over with. That's a wrap. That's a wrap, bro. That's a wrap. Them cats can't stay out of trouble in the car, so I would have never done it. If I was progressive, that was a bold strategy.
The bold strategy,
Bold.
Con. Let's see how this works
See
out
how it
for
plays
them.
out. Let's see how it plays out. Let's see how it plays
Progressive.
out.
Oh man, I
Yeah.
wish it was Uber, but hey, that it is what it is. Progressive, so that's just it's funny, man. The jokes write themselves
Yeah.
sometimes. Well, guys, appreciate you
Facts.
tuning in to the Welcome Home Podcast live on YouTube, X, Facebook. Appreciate y'all listening to the replay of the Welcome Home Podcast on Spotify and iTunes, all those good places where you get your podcasts. Guys, we'll see you next time.